What you're seeing on this screen is not a movie set. It's not some type of theatrical release that's going to bring in dollars in Hollywood. No, this is the aftermath of Hurricane Helene. These are homes of U.S. citizens. This is what we're dealing with when we talk about this hurricane and how it's massive devastation to people's lives. It's been a week. Some people have not been touched. They have not been helped. They have not even been contacted. We don't even know where they are. Last I checked, the numbers were over 200 confirmed people been unalived by Hurricane Helene. And that number's just scratching the surface, folks. Like I said, we can't get in everywhere. In this video, we're going to talk about something that's been going on. It's troubling. It's difficult to discuss, but we need to discuss it. It's about the funding. It's about the allocation of the funding from FEMA to U.S. citizens who are stuck in this situation. My name is Tim Black. In this video, we're going to talk about the accusation made by not Donald Trump alone. A lot of Americans are saying this online. They're saying, why do we have money for everything else, including migrants? But the slow response from the FEMA shows a lack of resources for American citizens who pay into the system. Now, Donald Trump, he has a bully pulpit, he has a bullhorn. When he talks, people listen. He was at a rally where he talked about this. He brought it up. I want to play you that clip, but I also want to play you the response by commentators on this news network to his comments.
Stole the FEMA money just like they stole it from a bank so they could give it. Stole the FEMA money just like they stole it from a bank so they could give it to their illegal immigrants.
Well, 10 TV political reporter Doug Petcash looked into this for us tonight, and the question being, is FEMA running out of disaster relief funding because it's being spent on undocumented migrants? Doug, what's the answer?
Well, the answer is no, Angela. The administration did not divert money from FEMA's disaster relief fund, but there is a separate fund administered by FEMA that does give hundreds of millions of dollars to help undocumented migrants. The White House pushed back on Trump's claims in a statement saying this is false. The disaster relief fund is specifically appropriated by Congress to prepare for, respond to, recover from, and mitigate impacts of natural disasters. It is completely separate from other grant programs administered by FEMA for DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, that is. And on its website, FEMA said basically the same thing, that no money is being diverted from disaster response needs. That being said, FEMA does administer the separate Shelter and Services Program in partnership with U.S. Customs and Border Protection. That program provides financial support to non-federal entities to help non-citizen migrants. Its budget this year, $640 million. And just last month, 10 TV reported the city of Columbus received a $6.6 million grant through the program to provide shelter for immigrants, refugees, and asylum seekers. City officials say the grant will build upon partnerships and expand the capacity to provide shelter and material assistance for migrants and displaced residents. The city will get the money over 3 years. Now, Springfield, the Ohio city at the center of false claims about immigrants amplified by Trump, did not receive any grant funding through the Shelter and Services Program.
So you're telling me that Trump is wrong when he says they're taking the money from the U.S. citizens and they're giving it to the migrants. He said they stole the money. I don't know about that. They took it. They ain't got to steal it. They took it. But let me try to wrap my head around this. So FEMA is the Federal Emergency Management Agency. That's what it does. It manages emergencies. And what we have here is an emergency. Okay. If you say FEMA has money in their budget, that's one bucket, right? FEMA's not taking the disaster recovery bucket money and giving it to migrants, but that the migrants have a separate bucket. And you say Trump is wrong for saying that because they're separate buckets. Here's the thing. It's all out of one bucket. All the money comes out of one big FEMA bucket. So if there wasn't a migrant bucket for money for undocumented migrants, shelter, food for them, is it too crazy to say that money, instead of that $640 million being here, you could have put that over here into the emergency relief for American citizens who are suffering from disasters from climate change and other natural disasters, which is the whole purpose of having FEMA? Yeah, you could. You know, when me and Mrs. Black have an opportunity to go out for dinner or lunch, and she wants to reach into a person and be like, I got this, baby, I got this. I don't know how many times I've stopped and said, hey, babe, it don't matter who got it. It's all coming out the same buckets. It's our money. That's the same way I look at FEMA. It's all coming out of the same bucket. So you want to try to trick us up with language saying, well, it's not really the same bucket. Nah, the ultimate bucket is FEMA. That's where the ultimate money comes from. See, what they do, folks, is they call you xenophobic, meaning you hate migrants or immigrants, foreign nationals or whatever. You hate foreigners. You got a distrust for them. You can't stand them. You're bigoted, right? They say that, but then they give you all the reasons in the world not to like these people because they take resources from you. Look, guys, America has a lot of money. We print money for just about anything we want. Why are we printing more money for FEMA? Why would you put people in a situation where they are lacking in a moment of dire need? This is not a nice to have. People don't have running water. People don't have electricity, cell access, phone access, access to food. People are shut down. They can't get to the doctor, can't get to the hospital. The roads are collapsed. There should be $1 trillion poured into that thing. Instead, okay, and we know there's money over here. Look, I think if American citizens had what they needed for disaster recovery and everything was going smoothly, and it wasn't a week and people are still unaccounted for, people are still stranded, people still are being rescued. As recently as earlier this morning before me recording this video, I'm hearing about 10 people that were rescued. And that's just one particular town in North Carolina. We still got Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, Tennessee. So the bottom line is, you pit us against each other when you don't take care of American citizens, which leads us to make these conversations. And now that we got social media, everyone's talking, they're sharing their experiences. You can't tell me all of it is fabricated. All of it is done by bots. I've seen all types of people from all walks of life making video content about what they've seen with their own eyes. Everybody's not a bot and everybody's not lying in order to hurt Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. But put a pin in that because I got another clip I want to play. This is showing how the tide is turning. Even CNN is calling out this nonsense. The response from the Joe Biden administration, the Biden-Harris administration has not been sufficient.
Question. Overarching all of it is the fact that, I mean, the response we're a week out now. There's still people missing, cut off from the world. We're just playing video of a man holding up a mirror to try to get attention from a helicopter pilot. I mean, this is happening in America. That is a challenge for Biden and Harris.
Yeah, and Trump seized on it right away last weekend. He was the first one of these three people to be on the ground when he went to Georgia last weekend. Meanwhile, after the hurricane made landfall, Joe Biden did travel to Rehoboth Beach over the weekend. When he was asked about it, he said, well, I had a telephone, and it seemed like a little bit flip. And then Kamala Harris also realized there was a problem because she was out on the West Coast on a fundraising swing and quickly sort of came back. And now you see that they are scrambling to sort of show that they are on the ground. Joe Biden making several visits to storm-damaged areas just the last 2 days. And so they're trying to sort of play a little catch-up here.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, you're playing catch-up. You're playing catch-up to Donald Trump. I don't know if you noticed or not, but Donald Trump's one person. And Joe Biden has all the resources of the federal government. And we got Kamala Harris that's already out and about campaigning. Why would they allow Donald Trump to beat them to the punch? That's just pure hustle. That's all that is. You got to call that what it is. That's a 50-50 ball anybody could have got, and Donald Trump got there before them. He was on the ground, boots on the ground, shaking hands, reassuring people, surveying it for himself. He looks like he cares more than Harris cares. Looks like he cares more than Biden cares. That's the message that's sent to viewers That's what they're getting. That's what voters are thinking when they see that. And that's not the fault of Donald Trump. That's the fault of your administration. I was talking to somebody earlier about this, and they were saying how they've known people to get FEMA help. And in order to get FEMA help, you got to do everything. You got to jump through hoops. If you're a migrant, you can just say, hey, I need money, I need help. And they go, okay, put your X here. But if you want FEMA help, you got to give your social security number, your age, your weight. Who was your third grade teacher? And what you had for lunch 2 weeks ago, Thursday. Yeah, we got to go through the red tape. We need to cut the red tape. You would think that the Democrats would try harder during election season. And if this is as hard as they could try, this is as hard as they will work during election season, I hate to see what they do in a natural disaster when it's not election season. Our sympathies, our thoughts are with those people that are stranded, those people that are going through it right now. If you're watching this video, you want something amplified. You don't need me to help. But if you do, tag me. I'm Real Tim Black on Facebook and Twitter. I'm Tim Black Show on TikTok and Instagram. Got a pretty good following on Twitter. Decent following on TikTok. Decent following on Facebook. I'll share your content if it's about this horrific situation. Right? They want to make this about Trump saying mean things at his rally. That ain't the issue. The issue is what's happening to people on the ground. And the response has not been good enough. It's been a week, folks. What do we have to say? Maybe if I say it slower, maybe people will understand. People are dying. Get on it.